event organized by Readers Club and the Storytellers Club. And I'm Tanvi Vyas. I'll be the host for the event. And let's start. So the public speaking event, as you know, first of all, I'd like to thank you all, those who have joined, and thank you for enrolling in and coming up to speak. So, public speaking event. When we talk about public speaking, what comes to our mind is like, yeah, there'll be a few people talking and speaking about certain topics, and they'll talk, they'll discuss, and go. Yeah, public speaking is that exactly. But there are a few things when that come under public speaking, and a few things that we need to consider before when we start to participate in such events. One of the things when we look at such events, that can I do it? Can I speak in front of so many people? Now it's given that we have an online platform and we have to do it on like WebEx Meets and Google Meets only. But when we are offline and such events take place offline, so we have to speak in front of many people. So one of the major things is that we have that confidence that we can speak in front of so many people? Yeah, and all of you do. So yeah, second is when you need to choose such a topic where you can speak vast, and you don't need to cram upon, like you get the content off from the internet and then you speak. We should choose a topic such like whenever if someone is trying to cross question, we can answer them very fluently. So we all know what importance does public speaking play in our enhancement of personality as well. It gives us confidence when we are able to speak, when we are able to keep up point in front of people. Then you can do like it gives you such a confidence, and it actually, trust me, I've taken part in such competitions where even if you don't win and you have spoken, you feel such a satisfaction in such a satisfaction that you like take part more and more. So let's start with the event. And there are many participants have come, so we'll start with Animesh from the Bharati Vidyapeeth University. And
Hello, everyone.
yeah, and I'd like to request to all the participants who are speaking to turn on their video, because that'll create a more better experience for you as well, and for us who are listening to you. And one more thing, after the speaker is done speaking, the floor is open for interactions. There is no restriction on talking. You can discuss as much as you want. So yeah, Animesh, the floor is yours.
Oh, hello, Tanvi. I'm very sorry I won't be able to turn on my camera since I'm speaking from my phone.
Yeah, it's fine.
So,
Okay.
okay, so this story I will be describing my sister's wedding that took place 2 years before, 2 years earlier. So, here it begins. वक्त क्या आपको भी कभी ऐसा लगता है कि वक्त कुछ ज्यादा ही जल्दी बीत जाता है? अब मुझे ही देख लीजिए, मैं कब इतना युवा और समझदार हो गया, कभी पता ही नहीं चला। अरे माफ कीजिएगा, सिर्फ युवा, क्योंकि जहां तक समझदारी की बात है, दादी अक्सर कहा करती थी कि घरों में भाई बहन में से सिर्फ कोई एक ही समझदार निकल पाता है, और वो मैं बेशक नहीं। और बस इसी वजह से बचपन से ही घर पे डांट खाने की तो मुझे अब आदत सी पड़ गई थी। पर दीदी को इतने में भी चैन कहाँ। अरे आप लोग इसे कुछ कहते क्यों नहीं, यह कहकर जाने कितनी बार मुझे फिर से फंसा दिया करती। पर हाँ, मूड अच्छा होने पर कभी कभी मुझे बचा भी लेती थी। जा, इस बार मम्मी को नहीं बता रही, अगली बार ध्यान रखना। यह सुनने के बाद अभी शांति मुझे मिली ही होती थी कि ओए, एक ग्लास पानी लेकर आ। इस ऑर्डर से मेरा पैनिक फिर बढ़ जाता। वक्त बीता, मैं थोड़ा जिम्मेदारियां और बढ़ी। अब पानी का ग्लास ले आने से कहाँ काम चलने वाला था। दीदी के अनपेड फोटोग्राफर से लेकर रात को देर से आने पर धीरे से दरवाजा खोलने की ड्यूटी भी मेरी ही होने लगी। वो तो जब सिविक्स में पहली बार डेमोक्रेटिक राइट्स के बारे में पढ़ा, तब जाकर एहसास हुआ कि मैं तो वीटो पावर के अंदर घूम रहा था, कि कैसे टीवी के रिमोट से लेकर टीवी के सामने वाले सबसे बड़े सोफे तक सब कुछ उसकी वीटो पावर के अंदर समा जाता। कि मैगी चाहे कोई भी बनाए, पर उसकी आखिरी बाइट पर हक हमेशा उसी का होता। कि कैसे कार में आगे वाली सीट पर हमेशा वो जाकर बैठ जाती और मुझे न्याय के लिए मम्मी को पुकारना पड़ता। बचपन के वो दिन हम ऐसे ही लड़ा झगड़ा करते और अंत में 1-2 दिन तक एक दूसरे से बात न करके फिर अपने आप ही सब भूल भुलाकर फिर से चालू हो जाते। क्योंकि ज़्यादा दिन बिना बात करे तो वैसे भी कहाँ रहा जाता था। मुझे याद है मैं कभी नानी के घर अकेला नहीं जाया करता था, क्योंकि जब तक लड़ने को कोई आस-पास ना हो, तब तक लाइफ में एक्साइटमेंट कहाँ से आएगी जनाब? पर चाहे कितना भी लड़ झगड़ क्यों ना लें, हम ज़्यादातर चीज़ों में एक समान ही थे। कि कैसे उसकी फ़ेवरेट सब्ज़ी भी मेरी फ़ेवरेट सब्ज़ी थी और उसकी नापसंद सब्ज़ी मुझे भी कहाँ पसंद थी। और मैंने कहा था ना कि वक़्त बस बीत जाता है और पता ही नहीं लगता, और देखते-देखते साल बीत गए। एक-दूसरे से अपनी गलतियाँ छुपाने से लेकर एक-दूसरे को ही अपनी सारी गलतियाँ और रिग्रेट्स की लंबी लिस्ट सुनाने तक वी बोथ ग्रू अप। वी बोथ ग्रू अप और शायद कभी एहसास नहीं हुआ, पर समय था मेरी दीदी की शादी का। दीदी की शादी के बाद घर पे सब कुछ बदल सा गया था। जैसे मानो सारी रौनक सी चली गई हो। अब टीवी का रिमोट, वो तो बस सामने ही पड़ा रहता है, पर टीवी से तो जैसे मानो सबका मन सा उठ गया है। अब मैगी में वो पहले वाला स्वाद कहाँ था? घूमने तो हम अब भी जाया करते थे, पर कार के आगे वाली खिड़की से नज़ारे देखने का अब मेरा मन नहीं करता। वो रात को दबे पाँव जाकर दरवाज़े की कुंडी खोलने का महारथी मैं, अब बस रातों को मैं आ गई हूँ वाले मैसेज के इंतज़ार में बस पूरी रात करवट बदलता रहता। अब जब मुझे कोई एक ही पोज़ में 50-50 फ़ोटो खिंचवाने के लिए तंग नहीं करता, तो बस मैं अपने फ़ोन में उसकी फ़ोटो ने ने निकाल बस निहारता रहता। वक़्त इन दिनों बड़ा धीरे-धीरे बीतता करता। सुबह के फ़ोन कॉल के बाद रात के फ़ोन कॉल के इंतज़ार में वक़्त जैसे ठहर सा जाता, और इसी ठहरे वक़्त के धीमे-धीमे सरकने के बाद आखिरकार वो दिन आया जब शादी के बाद दीदी से फिर मुलाकात हुई। और बस उस दिन हमारी बातों का कोई अंत नहीं था, मेरी खुशी का जैसे मानो कोई ठिकाना नहीं था। बस उस दिन फिर से मानो हमने हमारा पूरा बचपन जी डाला हो, उस उस एक-एक कहानी को फिर से कह डाला हो। उस दिन ना वक़्त के ठहर जाने से कोई शिकायत थी, ना उसकी बचपन की उस वीटो पावर पर कोई ऐतराज़। वक़्त ने ज़्यादा नहीं पर इतना तो समझदार कर ही दिया था कि शायद अब मैं समझने लगा था कि समय के साथ चीज़ें बदलना शायद ज़रूरी भी होता है। शायद कभी-कभी दूरियाँ कुछ ज़्यादा बढ़ जाती हैं, पर दूरियों के ज़्यादा बढ़ जाने से रिश्तों में कमज़ोरी आ जाए, ऐसा ज़रूरी नहीं। धन्यवाद।
Thank you, Animesh. That I could relate it to it so much. Like I also have an elder sister, and it's like one thing that you mentioned. We do it, we fight, and but still we can't live without each other. So yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you,
Yeah,
thank you.
yeah. Anybody else would like to say something about it and say something related to this topic about their elder brothers or sisters? Anything? Okay, like Animesh, you are getting compliments in the chat box. So yeah, it's okay. Now, moving on. Next up is Upmanyu Dikshit from Nima University. So, and as I saw responses, Upmanyu Dikshit gave many topics that he wants to speak upon. So, yeah, let's see what he has for us. Upmanyu.
Yeah, can you hear me? Okay, so hello, I am Upmanyu Dikshit, and some of you might know me from like something about history and geography, but today I'll share my journey with the stage. So I too had a lot of stage fear, and how I came to this platform, how I started speaking, how I started interacting. I wanted to share my journey till the stage that I have reached. I've not reached many big stages yet, but it's a big achievement for an introvert like me. So, like, it all started in 8th standard when I shifted my schools from a normal school to a very prominent school in my city, and it was a CBSE school. So, my boards changed too from state board to CBSE school. There, I learned that there was a new pattern going on. it was like a CCA pattern where you have to be indulged in each and every type of activity that you have not like participated before in your life. So I was an introvert kind of guy, a shy kind of guy who was just sitting in the corner, just looking at some stuff, some reading some books while entire class was enjoying and talking, making nonsense around everywhere. So I never indulged in interacting with people and interacting with like stage, or even I didn't used to speak to my teachers as well. So I was very much introvert. But when I came to this new school, I found that not many people are like me. Like I was the only one who didn't interacted with everyone. In my previous school, there were a few people like me, and we had a group and sort of thing. But this place was like a alienated place for me. I didn't enjoy anything. I didn't talk to anyone. So I went to my teacher, Swandeepa Chattopadhyay was her name, and she told me that why didn't you interact with everyone? Why are you just sitting in the corner? Because she also saw me doing nothing in the class. So I told her that I am introvert. I'm having a lot of stage fear inside me. I cannot talk to people. I'm not very good with my English, my vocabulary skills, and all that stuff. So she just told me to participate, and that's one thing that changed something for me entirely, because after starting participation into various events, starting participate to in many public speaking competitions, in debates, in jams, in every type of speaking activity, I found myself losing that stage fear inside me. So my journey was a bit of a rough ride, and I felt very emotional throughout this thing, and I felt lots of ups and downs, which I would like to share today. So the first thing that I did was I took up a book review competition, and this is where I started. The book review competition was about a book called Three Men in a Boat by Jerome Kalka. Jerome, CBSE people could relate to this book maybe. So this book review competition, when I was just getting on the stage, and there were like a few speakers before me, and I was like fourth or fifth in the row. I was on the stage. It was not a stage sort of thing, but a platform and a few benches around it, where like 40-45 students were sitting, looking at me. And just by looking at people in front of your eyes, and in lots of people who are just waiting to hear you, gives gave a chill down my spine. I was started trembling. My leg was shaking like anything. And even teacher noticed me. My teacher, Swandeepa ma'am, she told me that to sit down to have some water, and I was very much anxious at that moment, and I didn't know what to do. But I still took some time, drank water, and gave my first speech. And after that, the sigh of relief. That feeling of accomplishment gave me a very huge boost to my morale, to my speaking skills, to my everything that I could have asked for in that new school. And it gave me new friends, it gave me new communities to interact with, and I was alive again. It was something like that made me come out of my bubble to face something which was very much alien to me. And this was a journey, and I was not very good with speaking back then. I was very much like trembling in my voice, fumbling every time. I was stuttering. I forgot my lines. I was just going in a monotonous way every time. And this was my first thing. Then I started doing this types of book reviews, this type of film reviews every time. I went to a film review competition in another school where we had to select films. I did it on Conjuring. It went well. Then went to another book review competition. There I narrated a book called The Canterville Ghost, and it was a very good experience. And I won the first prize there. So it was like a first achievement that I get, and that was wonderful. And after that time, I was quite accomplished in speaking. I was very good at writing, and I was able to write long speeches. I was able to try in multiple languages. I did it in Hindi, I did it in English. So two languages I know only. So yeah, that was a wonderful time. But after that, one sad thing happened that I gained something called as overconfidence. And every time you get overconfident about something, you fall. So that happened with me too. So there was this competition about elocution or something like you have to imitate some famous personality speeches. So I went with Swami Vivekanand's speech in 1884 on the World Religious Parliament, and that was a disaster because I was very much overconfident. I didn't prepare well. I didn't felt that much nervous with what I felt before my every first speech. I was very much casual on this. So the thing is that public speaking, according to me, is something sort of an art, and it requires your dedication. And every time you have to be dedicated enough to prepare something. And if you are not, it will reward you in a very ghastly way. So fast forward to college, and last year I won a public speaking competition called Chakraview in IMNU, and that was very big achievement for me also. And yes, I still get nervous. My leg is still trembling right now. I'm talking with you guys, and it happens for me. And I just wanted to take this moment and appreciate everyone who is here uh, on this stage. It takes guts. It really takes a lot of effort to just come to the stage to start speaking, and even uttering that first word on stage is very much difficult for me as today after like 5 or 6 years of speaking on stage. So yeah, that's it. That's a quite abrupt ending, but yeah, thank you. I just wanted to share my experience, that how I got to stage.
Okay. Look, Upmanyu, you explained everything that we could relate to right now, as of right now. And when I got the chance to host, I was also like, on one side, I was very happy, like I'm getting a chance to host my first college event, and but I was nervous at the same time, like I couldn't ruin it because I have 5 years to go in college. So and yeah, you explained really well that whatever a speaker goes through when they part in a competition or anything, whenever they go first time on stage, or even if they are going like for the 100th time on the stage, a bit of nervousness should be there, because that what strives us to work harder. So yeah, anybody else would like to tell us about their experience, their first experience of public speaking, or whenever they participated, and what they feel when they are speaking? Upmanyu, you really spoke really well. You are getting very nice compliments right now. So thank you so much for sharing your experience. Yeah. Anybody else would like to share their experience? Yeah, Mahesh would like to share.
Yeah, sure. So, Upmanyu was very relatable. So, almost years ago, when I first go on my first public mic, I was shivering and I was prepared to talk about a story. But when I was and when I had the mic in my hand and the lights on me, I just forgot about the story. I just completely what to say or what to not. So it was still now. It's coming back again and again when we are in the new crowd and new space. So it does happen. Uh, Whenever I host something or anything in storytellers, generally I know what kind of people I'm gonna talk in front of. So I just relax about that. But suddenly the new people or new crowd is come, then the kind of the nervousness. So I can relate totally to what Upmanyu said.
Thank you, Mahesh. And yeah, the thing that Upmanyu said about overconfidence, that's also true. My teacher who used to prep me to participate in debates and MUNs and everything, she said कि तुम नर्वस हो रही हो बहुत अच्छी बात है, नर्वस तो होना ही चाहिए, बस तुम में घमंड आ गया ना तो तुम वहीं पे वही हार के आओगी. So yeah, that was a very good advice for me, and I'm still working for it. Okay, thank you so much. Now next up we'll go to Akil Sheikh. He's from Nema University. Is he here? Akil Sheikh, are you here? Okay, no problem. Okay. Next up, we have Priyanshi Diliwala from Nema University, and she'll be speaking on secret to living a world-class living. Priyanshi.
First of all, sorry, I won't be able to switch on the camera due to some technical issues. Okay, so thank you. Hello, everyone. So recently, I attended a webinar on secret to living a world-class living by life coach Bhavin Shah. I really liked it, and I found it very inspirational. So I would like to share the gist of the session with you all today. First of all, why should we live a world class life? हमें वर्ल्ड क्लास लाइफ क्यों जीनी चाहिए? तो पॉइंट है कि टू बी बोर्न एज अ ह्यूमन बीइंग इज अ रेयर थिंग. जीव विज्ञान आज दुनिया में इंसेक्ट्स की क्वांटिटी 10 क्विंटिलियन है, बर्ड्स की क्वांटिटी 200 बिलियन है, सिर्फ काउस की क्वांटिटी 1.53 बिलियन है. उसके कंपैरिजन में हमारे ह्यूमन बीइंग्स की क्वांटिटी सिर्फ 750 करोड़ है. तो इससे आपको समझ सकते हैं कि टू बी बोर्न एज अ ह्यूमन बीइंग इज अ वेरी रेयर थिंग. फिर व्हेन आप ऐसा कब बोल सकेंगे कि हाँ मैं वर्ल्ड क्लास लाइफ जी रहा हूं? जब आपके पास पैसे होंगे तब, या फिर आप इंजीनियर या डॉक्टर बनेंगे तब, या फिर आपके कोई ड्रीम खत्म हुए या पूरे हुए तब. नहीं, वह एक दिन हमारे जीवन में कभी नहीं आएगा. वह एक दिन भविष्य काल है. स्पीकर बोलते हैं लिव इन प्रेजेंट. लिविंग इन प्रेजेंट यही एक तरीका है कि आप बोल सकेंगे कि मैं वर्ल्ड क्लास लाइफ जी रहा हूं. बीते कल का अपराध भाव यानी कि पास्ट की मिस्टेक्स और आने वाले कल की चिंता, यह दो ऐसे चोर हैं जो हमारी आज की खुशी को चुरा ले जाते हैं. इसीलिए वो बोलते हैं कि लिव इन प्रेजेंट. हम सोचेंगे कि हम क्यों लिव इन प्रेजेंट, हम आज में क्यों जिए? तो स्पीकर बोलते हैं कि ओनली थिंग इन लाइफ विच इज सर्टेन इज दैट लाइफ इज अनसर्टेन. आज से 19 इयर्स पहले कच्छ गुजरात में एक बहुत ही खतरनाक भूकंप आया था. क्या उनको पता था कि आज उनका आखिरी दिन होगा? नहीं. आज कितने ऐसे लोग हैं जो रात को सोते हैं पर सुबह उठ नहीं पाते हैं, वह नींद में ही गुजर जाते हैं. तो क्या उनको पता था कि वह उनका आखिरी दिन है? नहीं. अगर आप अपने ही हम रिसेंट सिचुएशन देखें तो क्या एक साल पहले यानी कि फरवरी 2019 में क्या किसी को पता था कि कोरोना आएगा और इतने लाखों इंसानों की जान लेकर जाएगा? नहीं. Life is really very uncertain. Death can call you at any time. So, अब जो मेन है कि हम वर्ल्ड क्लास लाइफ आज कैसे जिए, तो उसमें 5 एक्शन से हम बारी बारी देखेंगे. एक्शन नंबर 1 है कि जब आपको कोई पूछे कि आप कैसे हैं, तो आप क्या बोलते हैं? आई एम फाइन, या फिर आई एम गुड, या फिर चल रहा है, या फिर जी रहे हैं. नहीं, आपको ऐसे नहीं बोलना है. चाहे लाइफ में आप कौन सी भी सिचुएशन में है, आपको क्या बोलना है? आपको बोलना है जोरदार, जबरदस्त, मस्त मस्त. ये 4 वर्ड्स ही ऐसे हैं जो हमारे माइंड को ऑटोमेटिकली एक्टिव कर देते हैं और हमें एकदम रिफ्रेश कर देते हैं. तो हमें पॉजिटिविटी से आंसर करना है. एक्शन 2 जो स्पीकर हमें बताते हैं कि अगर आप अपने पूरे दिन को एनालाइज करें तो हर रोज सबसे ज्यादा फालतू टाइम आपका सबसे ज्यादा फालतू टाइम कहाँ जाता है? ऑथर रॉबिन शर्मा बोलते हैं कि एन एडिक्शन टू डिस्ट्रैक्शन इज द डेथ ऑफ क्रिएटिव प्रोडक्शन. आपको पता ही होगा कि आपका सबसे ज्यादा फालतू टाइम जाता है सोशल मीडिया में. स्पीकर बोलते हैं कि अगर आप 15 मिनट इंस्टाग्राम या फेसबुक या फिर कोई भी सोशल मीडिया पर स्पेंड करते हैं तो आपको हैप्पीनेस होगी. बट अगर आप 45 मिनट्स तक वही करते रहेंगे तो आपके अंदर अनहैप्पीनेस की फीलिंग आ जाएगी। क्यों? क्योंकि हम कंपेयर करते हैं, हम अपनी लाइफ को दूसरे की लाइफ से कंपेयर करते हैं। फॉर एग्जाम्पल, उसके कितने फ्रेंड्स है, वो आज बाहर है, वो वहां घूम रहा है, वो ये कर रहा है, ये वो कर रही है, वो मैं नहीं कर रहा हूं। आप अपने आप आपकी लाइफ को ग्रेटफुलनेस नहीं मानते हैं और दूसरों की लाइफ से कंपेयर करते हैं, और कंपेयर करके आप दुखी होते हैं। तो हमें करना क्या है? हमें हमें हमारे जो टाइम हम व्यर्थ वेस्ट करते हैं गैजेट्स के ऊपर, उनको कम करना है। और ऑथर बोलते हैं कि एटलीस्ट घर में खाना खाते वक्त हमें ना ही मोबाइल को छूना है, ना ही हमें टीवी पे समय बिताना है। हमें अपने खाने पर कंसंट्रेट करना है, फोकस करना है और ग्रेटफुलनेस फील करनी है। आज आज जब आपको खाने को मिल रहा है, ऐसे कितने सारे लोग हैं जिनको दो वक्त की रोटी भी नहीं होती मिलती है। तो हमें हमारे खाने के लिए ग्रेटफुलनेस की फीलिंग लानी है। एक्शन 3 जो बोलते हैं कि फाइंड योर वाई। आपकी लाइफ का गोल क्या है, आपकी लाइफ का पर्पस क्या है, वो आपको ढूंढना होगा। बेंजामिन फ्रैंकलिन कहते हैं कि देयर विल बी प्लेंटी ऑफ टाइम टू स्लीप व्हेन वंस यू आर डेड। जब आप गुजर जाएंगे तब आपके पास सोने के लिए बहुत सारा वक्त होगा। When you find your why, you don't hit snooze anymore. You find a way to make it happen. जब आपके पास why होगा तो आप अपना वक्त वेस्ट नहीं करेंगे, आप प्रोकास्टिनेट नहीं करेंगे, और उसकी वजह आप अपने टाइम को अच्छे से यूटिलाइज करेंगे और अपने पर्पस, अपने गोल के टुवर्ड्स वर्क करेंगे। तो अब बात आती है कि आप हमारे वाई को कैसे ढूंढे। स्पीकर बोलते हैं कि लर्न लर्न एंड लर्न। लर्निंग इज द ओनली थिंग द माइंड नेवर एग्जॉस्ट्स, नेवर फियर्स एंड नेवर रिग्रेट्स। नेवर स्टॉप लर्निंग बिकॉज लर्निंग नेवर स्टॉप्स। एक्शन 3 तो यही होती है कि हर रोज कम से कम 30 मिनट कुछ नया सीखने में बिताए। कुछ नया सीखने से आपको बहुत बेनिफिट रहेगा। एक्शन 4 जो स्पीकर बोलते हैं कि लाइफ इज टू शॉर्ट टू स्पेंड टाइम विद पीपल हु सक हैप्पीनेस आउट ऑफ यू। स्पेंड टाइम विद पीपल हु आर गुड फॉर योर मेंटल हेल्थ एंड स्टे अवे फ्रॉम नेगेटिव पीपल। अगर आप देखेंगे तो हमारे आसपास के लोग हमारे पर बहुत इफेक्ट करते हैं, बहुत उसका अफेक्ट होता है। इसीलिए जो हमारे दिमागी मतलब मेंटल हेल्थ और हेल्थ के लिए बेनिफिशियल हो, ऐसे लोग पॉजिटिव लोगों के साथ टाइम बिताएं और नेगेटिव लोग जैसे कि टॉक्सिक लोग से दूर रहें। जो 5वीं बात स्पीकर बताते हैं वो है कि जब सक्सेसफुल लोगों का आधा दिन खत्म होता है तब अनसक्सेसफुल लोग का दिन शुरू होता है। हर रोज वर्ल्ड क्लास लाइफ जीने के लिए वर्ल्ड क्लास रूटीन बनाए। मेक एन आइडियल शेड्यूल फॉर यू। डोंट काउंट द डेज, मेक द डेज काउंट। तो ये थी हमारी 5 एक्शन। अंत में स्पीकर बोलते हैं कि सफलता की एलिवेटर बंद है। यू हैव टू टेक स्टेयरकेस। नाइदर सक्सेस इज इंस्टेंट नॉर फेलियर इज इंस्टेंट, बोथ टेक्स टाइम। सो इन एक्शंस को फॉलो करिए, अपनी लाइफ में इंप्लीमेंट करिए और वर्ल्ड क्लास जीवन जिए। थैंक यू वेरी मच।
Like Priyanshi, you spoke so well, and your topic was like so, like it's your whatever you spoke, the content that you spoke, like literally summed up what our life and how our lifestyle should be. And I really regret that we couldn't see you speaking because your expressions would have, would have been a cherry on the cake. So it was really good, and yeah, I totally agree with you. Like the 5 points that you spoke, that is what the life should be. And yeah, like we should have a complete world class routine to live a world class life. And like our parents used to say from like the day we join school or any institute or something, like your group matters. Whosoever are your friends, those matter. I couldn't understand why they matter. I'm living my life, I'll do whatever I want. And now now when I can understand, I'm mature enough to understand that. Now I can relate why positivity and why being away from negative people is important to live a happy life. Even if you're happy on your own, you cannot stay happy on your own. Your vibe, your the people who you are living with, though those people vibes also matter. So yeah, you spoke really well and you are getting compliments as well. So anybody would like to add on that?
Thank you so much, Tanvi.
Okay. So next up we have Shantanu Jain from Nima University, and he also has an interesting topic to speak upon. He has commercial movie culture in India. So yeah, Shantanu, the floor is yours.
Yeah. So I'll begin. Just a second. Uh, yeah. So the speech I'm going to tell is named "What Rajnikant Signifies." 30 men are running towards him. Can he survive this ordeal? Can he save the girl he loves from the clutches of this evil man ready to go to any length to get rid of our beloved hero? The hero who can rip his entire world apart. The 30 men close in with scythes, swords, staffs, and guns. But can the hero who has to fight them all do it? Suddenly he takes off his shades and throws them away, determination burning in his eyes. The 30 guys come in one by one, of course, lack of planning, and start swinging their instruments of death, but the hero dodges with dexterity. He breaks the first bodyguard's arm and uses his inner strength to throw him 30 feet into the air. The 29 left remain unfazed. They go in one by one and are tossed around, causing all the potters, pani puri walas, and fruit vendors, practically anyone with delicate wares, to go bankrupt. Suddenly, proving Newton wrong, he punches a man and makes the 10 bodyguards before him fall. They fall with such force they lose consciousness for 2 hours, or however long the movie is. The villain is scared. He's going to get killed. The hero does this all in his leisurely stride. Then things get interesting. The punching villain gets kicked and hit until he either dies or is caught by the police. His crime? He messed with Rajni sir. Welcome to the world of Tollywood, where planes are as good as flying at where planes are as good at flying as henchmen. But ever wonder why exactly are movies like this all over the world? Why people are equally crazy about Robert Downey Jr. as they are about Rajni sir? For knowing that, first we need to look at what they represent. What do they signify to a moviegoer of commercial films? When an average family gets a weekend, the father is overworked, the mother is more overworked, and the children are finally free from the confines of school. Look at what it says about our education system, but that is another topic. And they want to have fun. So they decide to go to a movie. They go forward and book the tickets. The children are happy, the mother is happy, the father is happy. They go to the screen and they watch the movie. A pretty normal approach of a family going out to a movie, but then comes the differentiating factor. The hero comes in with his rippling musculature, not Rajni sir, and the family is enthralled. The heroine comes in and then they dance. Everybody enjoys the story with happiness in their eyes. They enjoy the song and dance, they enjoy the love story, and they enjoy the victory of good over evil. They come out refreshed, thinking for a few moments of this larger than life hero who can do anything. The children have had fun watching this, and the parents are finally relaxed on having lived for a few hours with no strings attached to the hectic world. So this was the perspective of a moviegoer on a conscious level. What about the unconscious level? What goes on in the brain of what goes on in the brain that makes us like this? Well, it has to do with the stories we want to live and the stories we've heard as children. What many people of the last generation have faced is struggle. They struggle to reach where they are now in life. Some struggle even today. Because in the whole wide world, not everybody gets what they dreamed of. Their actions, what not everybody gets of what they dreamed of, because they want to be the best. Not all of us have the drive to or the conditions to make the best life for ourselves, and that is why the world is a panorama of broken dreams. Seeing something that gets us close to this dream, like a hero who can do anything, or a life in which you can suddenly break into dance, is like applying a sanitizer on your hands. They'll get dirty with reality again, but for the duration of a few hours you can do anything, because if he or she can, why can't I? The reason why such movies are made is because directors want to rake in money and they know what the audience wants. So they feed them the same story again and again, but with newer faces and better settings. Yet we watch it again and again because it is the dream we want to live. It's a life that isn't boring because it is eventful. You are on the edge, and the best part, you are in love. The reason I write this is to get you to see the side of the story of the commercial moviegoer and the commercial movie maker. I too used to be one of the critics of this side of cinema, and to be honest, I still am. I don't like the fact that each and every movie tries to cover up its subpar script by overcompensating in backdrop cars and clothes. I don't like the fact that physics doesn't apply in their world and that all people walking on roads are professional dancers who know what the next step is. I don't like the fact that they are so gender biased, yet I have found a way to be okay with it, not the gender bias part, of course. I have learned to not loathe or judge the people who watch them because the truth is we watch the same stuff. I have learned to be okay with it because it gives respite to people with unfinished dreams. It gives happiness to children through its dishum dishum. I have learned that everyone doesn't yearn for the same things in life. And lastly, I have learned that the best way to wear glasses is to throw them in the air, make them do omnidirectional 3D motion, and somehow make them fall perfectly in this place. And all that I have learned and will continue to learn as stupider movies are made is what Rajnikant signifies. Thank you.
Like, that was very well spoken, and you have literally defined what basically the memes are all about, and that is very true. Like, the movies that we get nowadays, like from like Tollywood movies that we see, is like, when if Einstein or Newton sees them, they'll die then only if they were alive. So yeah, Shantanu, you spoke really well, and it was really fun. It was really fun to listen to you speaking on it. So yeah, thank you. Anybody would like to add on it, because I'm sure someone would have many feedbacks for that topic, because we literally talk about when we actually have fun watching that movie, and but we are still criticizing इसमें तो physics की बात लगा दी, इसमें तो physics की बात लग गई. Anyways.
Yeah, but the point is, Tollywood is making more movies that make sense, and Bollywood is making more movies that don't make sense. So it's basically an inverse relation now.
Yeah, true. And now the Bollywood is no longer about movies; it's all about controversies now.
And Karan Johar's airport looks, of course.
True. Yeah. So, anybody would like to add on it? Priyanshi, would you like to say something? No? Okay, no problem. So, yeah, next up we have Nishchil, who will be talking about his lockdown story, a topic like we all can basically relate to. So, yeah, Nishchil, the floor is all yours.
Yeah. So, hello everyone. I am Nishchal Mehta, and today I am going to be telling about my lockdown story. So, we all thought that it will be a very small vacation when we got an email from our university on March 15 about the suspension of our regular classes. I was happy back then. I came to Udaipur, my hometown, met 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 few friends from high school, those who were studying in different colleges then. I would say life was sorted. Then lockdown happened. So people were following their hobbies and passion. Some of them were dancing, singing, cooking, writing, etc. Talking about me, so my hobby is to play badminton and football, and that was not possible at that time. So I chose sleeping and I would say binge watching movies and series at that time. So I used to watch around 10 hours a day and used to sleep the other 10. And I got my friends a circle like that only, those who were resonating around my routine. So I made them very close friend, and we used to talk a lot about this season, this episode, and all that. So this went on for complete 2 months. Then one day, one of my friend messaged me and asked me to fill a survey of a product which he built in order to, in order the people who are suffering from depression and anxiety. So he did a complete research and made a fantastic prototype of the website come application for the people those who are suffering from depression and anxiety. And I was like shocked. I mean, we both were on the same level just couple of months back, and now he is on a completely different level. So I called him and asked him, "Ki, what did you do?" So So how did you start with your idea and how did you complete it? So he was like, yeah. So he was pretty active on Twitter, and he asked me also to go on Twitter. And I was like, Twitter, what? Wait. And he said that what I thought about Twitter was Twitter is only about politics, entertainment, trolling and all. But he asked me not to follow a single politician or someone producing some cringe content. And he gave me some recommendations of people, those who are pretty active and pretty intellectual on Twitter. So yeah, I followed them. And then I saw there were people of my age group. So some of them were, making some newsletters, some of them were recording podcasts, some of them were providing a great service, and this went on. So this motivated me a lot because my growth till the 3 months of my lockdown was only my Snapchat streaks. So they were the only thing growing in my personal genre. Otherwise, all things were falling apart. So I called him. So then he again suggested me some courses on Y Combinator and Coursera to go on. And those courses were completely free. So he didn't spend a single penny to build his product. And his product went well. He went to some VCs, and he pitched over there, and his idea also got selected. So coming to again my story, so I went down into complete analyzing position. So what should we do? So, but thanks to Modi ji, so he kept on increasing the lockdown. So he gave me a time to think. So yeah, again I went on Twitter, I searched. So mostly people were resonating around the thing of called thing reading. So everyone was giving an emphasis on reading, like we should read at least this, and reading is very important, and every philanthropist or this reads. I was like, what is reading and how we should start? So I went on YouTube, I wrote this key, how should I start reading? There were lots of videos. I clicked on one video, and it said that just read 30 minutes a day or just read in morning, which I don't find that much productive. There was one suggestion which I found was pretty great, was to read all the newspaper headlines, and whichever headline you found interesting, just go on and read the article. So it was around in the month of July. So I went on. I used to read complete newspapers, and whichever headlines I found interesting, so I used to go on and read the complete article. So in the month of July, I was keeping a complete tally on number of COVID cases in different states of India, and what are the situations that's gonna change, and how this GDP and all things was going. So after this, I switched to more books and on the internet. So when I came on internet, I found that there are people, there are so many intellectual people writing different things in their particular niche. So everyone has their niche and they are writing tremendously well. But there were some people, those who were just bragging about their products, or no, there were advertisements on their blog articles which were making their article more distracted. So in this whole internet curated content world, I found that people, if I will be spending 30 minutes over there, so mostly 20 minutes of mine will be wasted in all these things. So that was very less productive for me. So then again I went on Twitter, I write this problem. So I got people, so they were literally doing something related to solve this problem. So I connected with them, and they said that they follow this pattern, they follow these newsletters, they follow these tricks to get the perfect content. I like their idea. And I said that there are people, those who don't know these patterns. So how should we, give them the information? So then they said that we do have our Telegram groups and all, but I didn't find Telegram that much interesting. So that's why I went on with WhatsApp. And this is how my lockdown story went on. So I would conclude by saying my learnings from the last year was we learned more from our peers rather than from our professors. So I didn't learn anything, I would say, since last year when online teaching started, but I had learned a lot more uh, back back in 5 years in this lockdown. So yeah, we learned more from our peers rather than from our professors, and also people we hang out with also defines our destiny. So back I was, hanging out with people, those who were, watching series, and they were recommending me to watch these. But when I changed my peer groups, and yeah, it affects. So yeah, that is also true, that people we hang out also defines our destiny. So thank you.
Thank you, Nischal. And yeah, lockdown routine we could relate to, but one thing I don't relate to is what you said about Mr. Modi. You were very happy that Mr. Modi extended the lockdown, but the freshers are not at all happy because we had to wait for our exams and we were continuously waiting when will the exams be over. So yeah, except that I agree that starting months I had also given to Instagram and Snapchat and all that. But then when I came to know my exams are coming close, so yeah. Anybody would like to add on to the lockdown story, their lockdown experience, whatever they experienced?
Sure, I'd like to say something about
Yeah.
this thing. Lockdown definitely came as something none of us actually saw, right? It was, some people say it was a curse, some say it was a blessing in disguise. It totally depends on how a person perceived. For me, lockdown has taken all its phases. I hated it, I loved it, I grew through it. Literally wanted to just uh, let this corona thing end. I really want to get back to the old normal. I started cherishing the new normal as well simultaneously. So there have been a lot of phases, and definitely it has been a productive search for me as well, given the fact that there are a lot of things that we are saving time on, like hanging out with people. It is a time saver, be it whatsoever, traveling here and there. So it has given me some good points, that I don't have to travel places, I don't have to meet a lot of people, yet I'm meeting people and things are being done. In fact, multitasking has started taking its place in life, and I think that is what uh, holds true for everyone over here as well. We started to learn that how to do many things at the same time and do it efficiently as well.
Yeah, true. This Corona thing has really been a roller coaster ride because we all had our ups and downs, but yeah, we grew through it, and now the time has come for us to be on campus now. So okay, thank you, Nishchal. Thank you, Nandini. So next up we have Dhairya, and he'll be speaking on procrastination. Dhairya. Yeah, you're audible. Yeah. Yeah, it's fine. Whatever you want to speak upon. Yeah, Dhairya, whatever you're comfortable with. No. Like assignment thing we all can relate to, but it's fine. The only thing matters is that you come up, and because you gave your commitment to come here and you are here and you spoke in front of people. So that was really good. And the hope thing, like it was a very short and sweet topic, and hope is necessary in life. We all had a hope that we'll come to campus, and now we are coming to campus. So thank you, Dhairya. Oh, okay. So next up we have Vikrant Bhagwani, and he will be speaking on Apnapan. Do we have him here? Vikrant, are you here? Okay, no problem. We have Maharsh Kumar. Is he here? Like a peep. Okay, he's also not here, I guess. And Bansari Prajapati. Is he here? I guess they haven't joined. It's fine. So yeah, anybody else would like to speak on any topic? Those people who have joined can also. Yeah, ECN Ek Chatur Noob, you can speak. Very interesting username.
Yes. So hello, am I audible and
Yeah.
yes. So my name is Nishit Nagar and I'm from ITNU Electrical branch. I'll talk about that name in the later part of my speech. So my topic is content creators in India. So we all know that life of content creator in India is not very easy. Regularity is required. There's also not very support from parents, and the system is kind of that it supports only engineers and doctors, but not content creators. Every parent wishes his or her child to be an engineer or a doctor. So there is a thing that in India we become engineer first and then decide what to do next. So yes. Um, so who should be a content creator? So it is a very unpredictable kind of field. Any video can go viral in just one night, and a content creator may find hard to gain audience, even though working for many years. So I also don't know the secret, but I wish to share my own thoughts that uh, who should go if you're really interested in entertaining people, if you're really interested in making people lives better, then you should go in this field. And this is a field which is kind of very glamorous and very attractive, so people get attracted towards money and fame. This should not be the sole purpose for getting into this. And what we as an ordinary people can do. So like our friend Nishchal said that he used to watch content because out of peer pressure. This should not be the case. We should watch the genuine content which we really feel good about, which we feel good watching. So yes, and also our friend Shantanu said that the captured content on the societies, the South movies, he doesn't like it. So what he can do is promote such type of content that he likes. You should promote the nearby content creators. If you find him or her genuine and hardworking, you can share its content. Maybe and you should never let any negative content to capture the screens. So our university too has a very good content creators. And talking about second year, I know many content creators from second year. The Twisted Truth from mechanical branch, they're doing really well. Rushi Mehta from mechanical, he's also very good. And our electrical, it's Suyash Tiwari is a very good video editor, and many are there on Instagram which are doing very good artist work. So yes, we should definitely promote our genuine nearby content creators. So Why my name is ECN? I am also content creator. The name of my YouTube channel. So yes, and I have written one poem also. Can I just recite it?
Yeah, sure.
Yes. So I've written it in form of lyrics. Hopefully I'll make a song on it. So it's about friendship. So तेरी मेरी दोस्ती. So two friends are from friends from their childhood. So the poem goes like this. बचपन के वो दिन याद है अब भी, मेरे किए प्रैंक्स इतने तू था रो दिया, फिर करी थी तूने मेरे पेरेंट्स से कंप्लेन, उसी दिन मैंने तुझसे कट्टी कर लिया, कुत्ते की दुम जैसे सीधी नहीं होती, फिर से आ गया तू साले, जाता क्यों नहीं। सागर जितनी गहरी है, पर्वतों से भी ऊंची है, दोस्ती तेरी मेरी दोस्ती। एग्जाम्स में साथ पढ़ना, नोट्स अपने शेयर करना, साथ क्लासेस बंक करना, बाइक पे गेड़ियां मारना, तेरे मेरे स्कैम्स के चर्चे बड़े मशहूर, इतनी लंबी लिस्ट है कि अंत बड़ा दूर। कैसे मैं बयां करूं अपनी यारी का नूर, लफ्जों की कमी के कारण हूं मैं मजबूर। अंधेरों में रोशनी सी, सूखे में एक नमी सी, दोस्ती तेरी मेरी दोस्ती। तुझे नई गालियां मैंने ही सिखाई, तेरे क्रश से बात भी तो मैंने ही कराई। सुन ले मेरी बात एक, आई एम हियर फॉर यू, एंड व्हेनेवर यू नीड मी, I'll be there for you। मुश्किलों में साथ के वादे मैंने ही करता, तुझ पे कोई मुश्किल आए ये होने ही न दूंगा। यही मेरी जिंदगी है, इससे मेरी हर खुशी है, दोस्ती तेरी मेरी दोस्ती। थैंक यू। आई होप यू फाइंड इट गुड।
No, it was really good. It was really good. I mean, it was fun and sweet at the same time. And like we have heard like what log likhte hain friends ke upar, but this one was different and it was really good. I think you should really post it and turn it into a song or whatever you feel like, but you'll get many likes, I'm sure of that.
Yes, I decided to get out of the league and write.
Yeah, it was really good. Like you are getting compliments as well, like on your poem. And thank you so much for coming up and speaking. It was really good, great to have you here. So anybody else would like to speak upon any topic, they are free to speak on any topic. And I think you should come up, like these type of events are really good for your, they're like mind refreshing. And don't worry, nobody is here to judge you. Even I have made many mistakes while I'm speaking. So yeah, you can speak as you want. Anybody else interested? We have many participants here, but they, if they'd like to speak, they'll help you. It's a public speaking event here. You can speak here. No one? Okay. So yeah, we'll come back to the public. Yeah, Shantanu Jain wants to. I would like to share the link. Yeah, Shantanu, you can share. And anything else you would like to speak on your on how your lockdown went? What led to start this blog during the lockdown? You can share that as well. We are here to listen.
Mostly I wanted an outlet to my ideas, which were not very common as such. So I wrote this blog because everybody, I thought, would be able to read it. If I write a blog, it will be available to all on the internet. So if I can publicize this blog well, then people would be able to read my ideas. And if I don't know, if I might find somebody who resonates with them.
That's great work. So yeah, coming back to public speaking. So many people who even joined and who didn't join, but it's okay. I guess they didn't join because they enrolled themselves because they wanted to get over the fear. But it's okay. If you didn't speak, you got to hear many people. That's step one. You listen. The major part of taking part in speaking events is listening. So thank you so much for all of those who have joined and those who spoke. Nishchal, Priyanshi, Dhairya, Shantanu, Manu, and many. Nandini, thank you so much for being here. And I'd like to take feedback from the participants for this event so that we can organize more and more such events, and we'll have more people, more than 17, I guess. Yeah, anybody would like to give a feedback, they are welcome here. Okay, so I hope those people who have joined here will be there in the next event as well. So, Nandini, would you like to share something?
So, hello, people. This was a very amazing session, and I must say, Tanvi did a great job today hosting it as well. I'm sure a lot of us enjoyed this session and would love to see such more sessions in future. So, keep following us on Instagram and also the WhatsApp group so you get updates about the sessions. And if you really loved these sessions, do make sure that you ask your peers to join in as well in the upcoming sessions, because when it comes to public speaking, there is nothing as a judgment that is going to be passed over here. So feel it as a free space for all of us and participate more and more, because the more you participate, the better you're going to get at it. So that is all from Storytellers End, and it was really great. So all the best, guys, and let's hope to see each other in more sessions.
Yeah, thank you so much. And people, thank you so much for those who were writing something for me. Yeah, it was great hosting such an event. It was my first time hosting an event in college. So I hope to, be a part of it more and more when we meet offline as well. And as Nandini said, there is no thing as judgment when it comes to such competitions. Yeah, it helps you to give comebacks uh, very fast, and out of your bedroom you can give fast comebacks. It is true, I've experienced it. So okay, thank you so much all for joining, and hope to see you soon in the next event.
I would like to add on. Thank you so much for organizing amazing event, and thank you for hosting, Tanvi. You hosted it amazingly. And
Thank you.
everyone did really well. Everyone spoke really well. It takes courage to be on stage. And yes, you have done it.
Yeah, thank you so much, Priyanshi. So, okay. Thank you, everyone. Bye. Take care.